I don't know. You whip off to Benidorm for a couple of days and all hell breaks loose. Anyway, Benidorm update is still the same glorious shithole it always was and always will be. And I absolutely bloody love it. However, as I get older, it turns out I can't do what I used to do in Benidorm for night after night after night. And I have come home a broken man. Absolutely. For the first time, as long as I can remember. Normally, when I'm drunk, I'm like a homing pigeon. And it doesn't matter where I am in the world, I know where the hotel is. And I will find my way home. First night in Benidorm, woke up in the hotel. No problem. Absolutely nailed it. The last night, I mean, it's a story that unfortunately I can't tell on YouTube because it will fall foul of community standards because of the descriptions of people involved. But nevertheless, it involved me getting lost, walking 5 miles at 11 o'clock at night. I have no idea where I was, being picked up by 3 strangers, thinking I was about to get abducted, sobered up and legged it. And now I am suffering as a result of it. My legs are killing me. I'm a little bit tired. I'm a little bit broken. But all hell was broken loose in the world of milk floatery. Remember last week I did the story on BYD having all these cars in Australia and me making the statement that they were pre-registered. And I think you'll find that they are not at all. They're just new cars sat in a lot. Yet again, you've misread the situation. You have no idea what you're talking about. And I was convinced. And then I went off on a tangent talking about scrapyards, which has gone down very well with my loyal followers. I'm glad you enjoyed the reminisce about scrapyards. What great days they were. However, since I've been away, my inbox has been full of the same video. And it's Russia. And the Russians are going mental because for years they haven't been able to buy cheap cars because there's been sanctions and there's been tariffs and there's been everything else. So cars in Russia are quite dear. Hence why only the mafia drive cars. And then all of a sudden, the Chinese EV market has flooded Russia. And they all went, yes! Cheap milk floatery, we'll have a bit of that. It's got all the bells and whistles on it. We'll have a bit. And the Russians have been out in their thousands and bought the BYDs, the Geelys and the Cherries and all the rest of it. And all the stuff that you see. All these cheap Chinese milk floats. And then, when something's gone wrong with them, they find out that there is no after sales because they've bought a second-hand car. They thought they were buying brand new, but no. All these cars are being pre-registered in China. Hang on a minute. Oh, it hurts to move, but even so. Oh, it hurts a bit less in Smug Corner. Yes. Because now I've had to carry out extensive research on this, which literally has woke me up. Otherwise, I'd probably just still be sat there staring at the dogs whilst they stare at me and go, well, why is the fat man come home from holiday a broken man? Why is he not taking us for a walk? Because what they've done is very clever. China couldn't import direct to Russia, but if they went through a third-party country with a pre-registered car, technically, they're not bringing in new cars to Russia, so they don't have to pay the import tax, they don't have to pay the new car tax, they don't have to pay the duties and the tariffs and all the rest of it, so they can bang them out dirt cheap because they've gone through 2 countries. One, Kyrgyzstan, and the other, Kazakhstan, greatest country in the world. Yes, Kazakhstan greatest country in the world. All other countries are run by little girls. I mean, it's the biggest exporter of potassium. As you can tell, I'm a big fan of Borat. Anyway, so it turns out greatest country in the world is now a fence, I suppose. It's almost like a fence. It's like a handler of goods. So the Chinese bring it into Kazakhstan and then into Russia. And, you know, Borat is basically bringing down the Russian motor industry single-handedly, as they're no longer part of the Soviet Union, so they're allowed to do it. Traders in China exploit a loophole that allows used cars to be sold abroad without car makers' authorization. They register the new cars in China, making them technically second-hand, despite having almost no mileage, and then immediately ship them overseas to countries including Russia. Central Asian countries, all of the Central Asian countries are run by little girls, like Uzbekistan. Wankers! Just Borat now. I can't think of anything else. Chinese EVs are imported into these nations, then moving to Russia, allowing them to bypass direct export restrictions. And it's stated that they prohibit their dealers from selling to Russia due to sanctions. Independent dealer networks and individual traders are the one primarily facilitating these direct shipments into Russia. So what's happened now is the Russians have realised this. Now, granted, they can get quite angry, the Russians. So they are literally taking shovels to their Chinese cars. They are smashing them up in the street because they've now realised they bought this car with no miles on it that they thought was a brand new milk float. Turns out it's second hand. Turns out because it was imported illegally, the warranty's invalid. There is no after sales. There is no comebacks whatsoever. And there's thousands of these Chinese milk floats in Russia that are completely worthless and useless now. And the Russians have realised that. So their only way to get revenge, and you can watch, you just put it in YouTube, it'll come up. And you can watch all these Russians literally taking a shovel to their car and just smacking the shit out of it. If only they'd watched my channel, they may have known that BYD were pre-registering cars. Granted, I've never seen the Kazakhstan angle coming. I didn't see that. I can't take any credit for that. I thought that's exactly what they'd done in Australia, but Kazakhstan, greatest country in the world, that's a completely different thing altogether. Anyway, there we have it. It turns out that the Chinese are pre-registering cars and then selling them illegally into other countries with no after sales and backup. I mean, who would have thought that those thousands and thousands and thousands of cars that they've got parked up all over the world with nobody to buy them, and that was their master plan? And of course, there'll be no comebacks on China because nobody can sanction China in any way whatsoever because we rely on them for absolutely fucking everything. Donald Trump tried it. What happened? He had to go back to President Xi with his ass in his hand and go, yeah, I very strongly, can have to agree with everything you say. Very strongly. Yeah, I know I said that we were going to tax you at 100%. I've kind of changed my mind due to the fact that I've realised it'll completely fuck the country up. So it would appear that China are holding all the aces, and the rest of the world is playing catch-up. And here we are in a world where Chinese milk floats are proving to be a little bit problematic. Now, who would have thought that that would be the case? Oh, it's Friday. It's 5 to 5. It's not time for Cracker Jack. It's time for Smug Corner Jack. Oh, Ed Stewpot Stewart would love this, wouldn't he? Right, I think I might go little, do a load of shopping and balance some cabbages on the top of my shopping and see how long I can hold it there for and answer questions. That's another Cracker Jack reference in case you missed it. It's woke me right up. Anyway, next video, quite simple. I'll tell you what my carbon allowance was and how much I spent, how much carbon allowance I used in Benidorm for 2 days and what the equivalent is in flights. It's mind-blowing. Future my arse.